Live, go live. Hello, Be the Confident You. Jen T here with a special guest, Doug Evans, who's an awesome videographer and has some awesome programs that he's running that really complements what I do in having you looking and being amazing on camera. And you know that it's something that I'm really passionate about helping people grow their brands and grow their business and their visibility, because visibility equals credibility. And video is such an incredible opportunity for you to be talking with your ideal clients and have them connect with you. So Doug and I have done some work together. He's across the bay in the Mornington Peninsula area, he shared some information with me the other week in a training that I thought was brilliant, and we wanted to share some secrets with you. So Doug, do you want to introduce yourself to Be the Confident You?
For sure. Thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. I'm Doug. My business is Rising Rocket Media. I specialize in video production and video marketing as well. And like Jen said, we've been working together on some various projects, exchanging information and helping each other out. So I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, excellent. Now, Doug, I'm so thankful that you're letting me spill the beans on one of your big secrets that's really helped me. How do you hold your phone if you are doing a Facebook Live or a video?
Absolutely. So there are two ways to hold the phone. The first is obviously portrait, like so, just vertical video. This is best for things like Instagram TV, Instagram stories, or Facebook stories, where vertical video is essentially required. But for everything else, I really recommend landscape video. And there is actually a good way of holding the phone, believe it or not. So the best way of holding it is to, if I just put my phone there, is to hold the phone like so, then take your other hand, place your middle finger and ring finger on the back, put your index finger on top, pinky finger sits underneath, and the thumb will remain free to be able to operate the camera controls. So if I just show that again, so middle and ring finger on the back, index finger on top, little finger underneath, excuse the band-aid, and thumb remaining free to operate the controls. This grip is very stable. Even out walking, you find that there won't actually be too much shake. I've been walking over things like grass, which is uneven. It's not a flat surface, and it's been very stable. The other reason for that to use this grip is also audio, because you have your hand cupped at the end, and as we all know, the mic's at the base of our phones. So when you talk, the sound waves from your voice will bounce off the palm of your hand into the mic, and it will just add that little bit extra to the audio quality of your video.
How great is that? Give Doug some love for sharing that. I want to know, if you're watching, if you have ever done a Facebook Live, type the number 1 into the comments, or if you've ever done a video on your social media or website, type the number 2 into the comments. Doug, you've got a lot of different industry secrets that are really beneficial for people. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Sure. How about I go over the 10 best filming practices so people keep looking and sounding great when they do their videos?
Sounds great.
All right. The first one is always try and film in natural light, preferably. Of course, you can film inside, but the difference between being inside and outside is that outside light is next to the sun, basically everywhere. If you're inside, usually that means you have light coming down, which can, unless you have a light source pointed at your face, will result in shadows under the eyes, and it won't look as good as it would be if you were standing outside. That said, point number 2 is if you are outside, then try and avoid filming in hard sunlight. So if you have effectively a cloudless day, it's blue skies everywhere and the sun's really beating down, seek out the shade. Because if you are standing in that sort of hard sunlight, then unfortunately, like wrinkles and imperfections are going to show up on your face, which is probably something you don't want to, have in your videos. So being in the shade will soften it. A real bonus, though, is if you're outside and it's overcast, light's going to be nice and soft and diffuse. And that's the sort of day that you really want to take advantage and get out there and create a video. The third tip is keep the brightest light in front of you to avoid being backlit. So you can't really tell from where I'm sitting, but sort of just to my left, there's a door. And if I was going to shoot a video in this room, I'd actually be looking out the door because I want the brightest light on my face. What happens is if I had my back to the door, of course, I'd be basically backlit. So either outside's going to look nice and in focus, and I'll be dark, or I'll be correctly exposed, and the light coming through is going to be even brighter. So always try and keep the brightest light in front of you. Which again, if you're filming outside, is not an issue, because the sun's everywhere. The fourth tip is energy. And you really need a bit more energy than you think. What you don't want to do is go flat and monotone in your videos. So you want to basically dial yourself up a few notches. So the way that I would talk to you in person, Jen, is not the way that I talk to somebody, or not the way I would create a video. So on a video, I would say, hey guys, it's Doug from Rising Rocket Media. How have you all been? Hope you're all doing well. Of course, I wouldn't come across like that to you in person, but you want to hold people's attention, and you don't want people to just get bored of listening to your voice. So varying your tone is extremely important. The fifth tip that I have is, once you have finished filming your video, if you do want to have it edited, then my advice is hold on the end for an extra 2 or 3 seconds. Just count to 2 or 3 in your head and then hit stop. The worst thing that could happen is you just go, hey guys, thanks for watching, bye, and then hit stop straight away. Suddenly it becomes harder to edit that bit out. So just waiting 2 or 3 seconds, that will definitely add to the production quality, because you can then chop that out later on. The sixth tip I have is the angle of the phone. So when I do my videos, and what I advise people is stiff arm out, so it might be a little bit hard to see, but stiff arm out and then raise the phone up until you just feel your head start to tilt. You effectively want the camera in the phone just above your eye line. That's the most flattering angle. You don't have to go crazy. You don't need to hold it all the way up there and look up at it, unless maybe there's something you want to show that's behind you, which is perfectly okay to do. But my real tip there is don't look down at your phone. It's not a flattering angle. And as a bonus tip as well, if you do have a laptop, for instance, see if you could raise it up, because I guarantee you that you'll notice a difference between looking down at the camera in your laptop and then looking sort of more at eye level with it. The next tip I have as well is movement is okay. Movement is good, I should say, but sitting is okay too. So if you can move around while you're recording, that's fantastic. But if you're shooting, for instance, your first video, or you're just getting it, getting started doing it, then maybe hold still. So either sit down or just stand on the spot. The worst that can happen, of course, is you're filming a video, you're looking at the camera and the phone, you're not paying attention to where you're going, and you trip over and you hurt yourself. Nobody wants that to happen to them.
That's a damn thing to do too. I'm so uncoordinated. The thing to remember with moving around is knowing your light, like where your light is coming from. And a little while ago, someone asked me the question, it was probably about 10 o'clock in the morning, of where to have the light source coming from. And what I did was I quickly did a selfie with me having the window in front of me and then the window behind me. And the two, they're like chalk and cheese. Like I looked like I was 80 in the one with the light source coming from behind me, because it really, really aged me. So if you are moving around, be really mindful of the light sources. And I often tell people with eye contact and with lighting, always do a selfie test beforehand to make sure it looks good.
That's a really important thing that people do, and it's so easy to do as well. It might take an extra couple of seconds to do, but it could save you down the line. So you don't just get to the end of the video and then replay it and realize, oh, I was standing in the wrong spot. Obviously, if you're moving around outside, again, it's much easier to do because the light's everywhere thanks to the sun. But yes, if you're moving around inside, then that can be a bit more challenging, trying to keep the light in front of you. So those tests can be really important. Absolutely. Absolutely. My other 3 tips are that you should, if you can, try to avoid overly noisy areas. If you can hear it, then chances are your phone, the microphone in your camera is going to hear it, and then the people who are watching can hear it as well. There is a little trick, though, that you can do, which is if you do have a persistent sound that's not going away and you can't get rid of it, then just acknowledge it in the video. So a good example of that would be, hey guys, it's Doug from Rising Rocket Media. Sorry about the noise. the neighbor's got the jackhammer out, he's digging up the footpath for some reason. Sorry about that. In that way, you've acknowledged it. People will know what it is, and they'll no longer be trying to figure out what could that noise be. They'll instead be able to focus on you. My second last tip is try and, if you can, seek to improve the quality of the audio. And you can do that quite easily. I recommend a little clip-on mic called a SmartLav, or like Jen's got as well. But if you've got your phone, then a little SmartLav Plus from Rode can be really good. As you can see, I've got one here. So it's a little lavalier mic. It will just clip onto a piece of cloth, and it will plug. There we are. It will plug into the end of your phone. Those of you with iPhones will need an adapter to be able to do that. But it works really well, and it does improve the audio quality and production quality of videos quite substantially.
It's just one of these little things.
Hey, there you go. Just get one of those and you'll be set. I was shooting a video using one of those earlier in the year. We're sitting, again, near a window in an office. It was raining really hard outside, and when I listened back to the footage, couldn't tell it was raining because the mic just sat next, mic was just clipped onto my jacket like so, and it was just picking up my voice. And my last tip is, if you find yourself saying a lot, a really simple solution to fixing that is to just breathe through your nose. Really simple. If you feel an coming along, breathe in, and it won't come out of your mouth like that. So yeah, there's some 10 best filming practices that I recommend that will keep everyone looking and sounding great on video when they do it.
Excellent. Now, Doug, I know as well with the lavalier mics, if you're wearing jewelry and things like that, that can be really distracting as well in noise. So that's another little thing to be mindful of, is just making sure if you've got really dangly earrings that are turning, or even rustly clothes. Like, I know parachute material isn't in fashion anymore, and if you're wearing it, please stop. But just making sure that if you're clipping it to your clothing, that it isn't really noisy, sort of rustling sound. It's like corduroy pants always make that noise. So that's another little tip for you. Thank you so much. You've really shared some valuable tips to anybody who is either wanting to start doing video or is already doing video. Why do you think video is so important?
I think it's important because people connect with people. And if people can't connect in person, then being on video is basically the next best thing. You get to see someone, you get to build that connection with them, you get to hear their voice, and you also get to see the emotion, particularly if they're talking about something that's important to them or is important to you. Then people connect with other people, particularly through seeing faces. So video is really important in that regard.
Yeah. And having that emotion and bringing the energy is something that I talk about a lot in all of my trainings, because you cannot create the same amount of emotion if you read a post, or even if you're reading a book. The book hasn't given you the emotion. You've created the emotion around the words that are on the page. But with storytelling and with our videos, if you're saying that you're excited, be excited. Like, get into that emotion. And there's, like, if you're speaking and someone's in rapport with you, what happens is they have a chemical reaction similar to what you're having. So bringing that energy and bringing that emotion is so important. So totally agree with what you've just said, Doug. Now, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, I know that especially at the moment, people aren't really able to get videographers, or haven't been able to as easily. You've got a way that you're able to edit people's videos for them. Can you just share a little bit about that and how people can contact you?
Certainly. Yes, unfortunately, at the moment, given the restrictions that we're in, can't go out there and do face-to-face filming, but I offer a program called the Rapid Audience Engager, which is where I teach people how to shoot video on their mobile phones. And then what they can do is they can shoot these videos themselves if they would like, and then they can upload it to, say, Google Drive, which I can then pull down and edit for them. So when I do edit them, it's optimized for social media, basically being square. It's got a title up the top. It's got subtitles down the bottom for soundless viewing. Very important. And then I can send that back to them through Google Drive. So the entire experience is completely contactless, and it's a great way of continuing to create video content, building up those touch points, keep getting yourself out there. and you don't need, well, given the circumstances we're in, if you can't get somebody to come in and shoot those videos for you, then it's a great way of still being able to do it. So, yeah, if people want to get in contact with me, then my website is risingrocketmedia.com.
Excellent. And I'll share your links and everything for anyone who's watching. If you found this valuable and you've learned something today, please thank Doug in the comments or give him some hearts or thumbs up for sharing some of this valuable information. Now, Doug, what does confidence mean to you?
Confidence to me means that I know that I can do the thing that I set out to do. And once it's done, I also feel good about it.
Yeah, fantastic. And if you ever need to tap into your confidence, have you got anything that you do to be able to boost your confidence?
Yes, it's really a case of just do the thing, and even if it doesn't work out the first time, do it again and keep on doing it and keep refining and practicing, which is something that I've done for being on video myself. It really was just a case of, over the years, just being willing to be on camera and keep trying to improve each time. And that definitely built up confidence, and something I recommend for everyone.
Yes, spaced repetition is great, and exposure therapy, fantastic ways of being able to build your confidence in an area. Well, once again, Doug, thank you so much for jumping on lunchtime on a Friday. I hope you're all getting prepared to, oh, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. Oh my goodness, I'm getting ready for the weekend already. How ridiculous. Take care, everyone. Once again, thank you, Doug, for joining us at Be the Confident You. And if you do want to get in contact with Doug, he is running an awesome program as well. And of course, being able to edit your videos and put the captions and things, because that can be very, very time consuming if you don't have the right equipment and apps and things like that to be able to do it. So once again, thank you, Doug, and Be the Confident You. I will be tuning in again with you soon. Bye.
See ya.